I'm home. I have a surprise for you.
Honey, look, there's an American alligator on the loose in our suburb.
But Mom, my surprise.
Shh, I'm watching the news.
But I have that alligator.
Dun dun dun!
Look.
Breaking news! There's an alligator loose in your suburb. Yes, you! The American alligator lives in the North American continent. It's mainly in Florida and Louisiana. It also lives in the coastal wetland biome. Also, many aquatic life biomes, such as ponds, rivers, streams, lakes, marshes, and swamps. What's that? A question about the range and their migration pattern? Oh, and how they disperse? Well, they don't have a normal migration pattern. However, they're kind of moving northward because of the loss of their own habitat. The females normally live in smaller ranges than the males. The young normally stay where they're hatched as they begin to grow up. Adults don't really talk to each other that much, but children are very social. They can swim, walk, run, climb, and high walk, which means they keep their legs under their body. They also are from South Virginia to North Carolina, along the coast of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. When the water in the area begins to dry out, then they have a need to move. So that's why if you have an alligator in your house or in your pool, it's probably because it's losing its own wetland. And now, over to my twin for more information. Well, now I'm here in the natural habitat of the American alligator. We're going to talk about its niche next. This means what it eats and how does it live. It eats basically fish, turtles, snakes, small mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles, eggs, insects, wood, bark, and stems. The smaller alligators eat mainly insects and as small fish as they can find. It hunts mainly at night. This is when it can swallow its prey whole. It grabs its prey's head and drags them underwater. Then they eat them once they suffocate and drown. They can hold their food in the mouth until it deteriorates, and then they can swallow it. They have a gland in their throat called the glottis. The glottis allows them to eat underwater. They wait while their prey is drinking the water at the banks. Then, when they least expect it, they grab their head and pull them underwater. Once again, they repeat the process, wait until they drown, and then let it deteriorate and swallow it whole. The American alligator prefers shallow waters and waters with low tides. This way, it can keep its nostril discs above the water so it can breathe as it swims. If it's swimming too fast along the current, it can't keep its nostrils above water. It also has a very armed body, which helps it in its habitat. It also has a long tail that's very muscular and helps well as it swims. It can only tolerate low levels of salinity, which means that there can't be too much salt in their water, and hence they need fresh water in order to survive.
We're going to my friend's house who loves American alligators to learn more. That's my friend. Hey, tell me, what's wrong with my alligator?
So, alligators face threats today from habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change. Can you believe that?
No.
Between the loss of wetlands habitat to development and being hunted nearly to extinction, their skin is prized for shoes, belts, and wallets. The alligator was endangered by 1967. After an Endangered Species Act was passed in 1973, alligator hunting became illegal, and state and federal wildlife agencies worked together to help alligator populations recover. The species was removed from endangered species list in June of 1987. Even though the Endangered Species Act helped to save the American alligator from extinction, the future of this animal is far from assured. In deciding what's next for the alligator, the importance of a rigid, well-coordinated enforcement must be emphasized.
Let's go to the zoo to learn more.
Well, on the plaque for the American alligator, it says it was once on the verge of extinction, but it's no longer endangered except in scattered areas of its range. It's listed as threatened on the U.S. Endangered Species List, but since it's rebounded, it's considered a recovered species. In South Florida, the threatened population has rebounded heavily from a count of less than 300 in 1970, but now it's grown to an estimated 1,500 U.S. alligators. Even in the state of Florida, there's 1.2 million alligators.
So, being an American alligator is a tough job. To successfully reproduce and just survive on our own, we need many things. For reproduction success, we need to lay at least 35 eggs because a lot of our eggs get eaten by natural predators, such as bobcats, otters, snakes, other large bass, larger alligators, birds, and raccoons. We also mate once yearly, and it starts in May and ends in July. For successfully surviving in our habitat, we need lots of water, good source of sun, and lots of food. Alligators are great at making alligator holes because we use our tail and our noses to make these holes, and then they end up filling up with water and becoming homes for other species. We're also great at becoming indicator species because we are able to take in toxin levels and show them like indicator species do.